What's up, y'all? It's Q Deezy with Double Easy. Another episode all about some eyes. How about y'all out there? Let me get my light right. Let me get my lighting right. How about y'all out there drivers? New Year's. I'm out here running. Headed out to Oregon. Yeah, Oregon. I just stopped. I had a little concern with the truck. Hang on. Because it seemed like when I was sitting, the truck was seeming like it was trying to run hot on me. So I just stopped for my 30-minute break. And what I'm going to do here is hang on, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do here, guys, is, you know what, let me close this out. I done messed up. What I'm going to do is run through and check some components, and I figured this would be a good time to show how to do some of these things. I suspect either the fan clutch or the fan solenoid may be bad, but I don't know. When I'm riding on the highway, the truck's fine. It runs right at where it's supposed to run. But I just noticed twice when I stopped for fuel and I went in the store, it seemed like the temperature creeped up a little bit more than it should have, and the air was not on. And then I got in some traffic, temperature started creeping up again. And I pay attention to my truck so much that, you know, I noticed that it didn't do that before. Might not be nothing wrong, but we're going to check. Now, I've already kind of did the check on the clutch and stuff, but I'm going to show you guys just for the sake of the video. So, with that being said, let me make sure I got everything, whatever. Hang on a second. Right. There we go. All right. So, truck off. First thing you want to do is you want to check your fan. If you can rotate this when the truck is off, see, I can't even move it. That means that your fan will be stuck on. And usually when it's stuck on, you got a solenoid over here, which is your heat solenoid, which controls when it opens up and lets air in to let the fan spin. I'm sorry about the wind, y'all. But if the fan moves when the key's off and you can spin this, that means your fan is going to be stuck on, which isn't a bad thing because you'll be able to get somewhere to get the problem rectified. It means your fan will just run constantly. Now, got to do this when your system is full of air. Cut the key on, just to the on position. That should free up the fan if everything's working properly. That means that this solenoid has opened up. It's allowing air to flow in here. And look at that, you should be able to spin your fan. Now what'll happen is, when you cut your key off, like normally, when you cut your key off, let me see if I can do it quick enough, you should hear the fan lock back, you should hear the air valve release and the fan should lock back. It usually takes about a second. You usually notice you hear that little psst when you cut your key off. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Hold on. And it locks the fan. Here we go. There you go. And now the fan is locked. So that tells me that the fan system is operational. And I'm gonna tell you, I know that too anyway, because when I was coming here for my break, I had to go up the mountain up in 24, and I'm gonna tell you something. That mountain in 24, coming up that mountain, truck started heating up, and I heard the fan kick in and bring the temperature down. So I kind of knew that everything was good with that. But what I want to do now, for the sake of video, is I want to let the truck run at idle, and I want you guys to see the temperature. This is what it's saying my temperature is. Well, it's coming back down now, but when I just cut it on, it was kind of way over there. Oil pressure is good, but what I want to do now is physically look at the computer data. So I'm sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. I want to physically look at the computer data and see what is going on. I'll zoom back in so you guys can see. So we're going to go to instrumentation, and then we're going to go to I can actually see that it's telling me that the engine fan clutch is off, and the engine fan is off because the clutch is off, right? And what I need to do is see what the engine temp sensor is. So let's do this. We'll just run through the, I can actually go into my service routines and see what the engine temperature is. Engine temperature, according to, what am I looking at here? Wow. I'm sorry, guys. Engine temperature, let's get this thing focused. 198 degrees. The engine fan should cut on at about 219, but because it's all the way down at 198 now, it's probably gonna be a while. But what I'm gonna do is let it run and see if it's gonna warm up. And I think at this being this low, it's probably not. So considering that what's going on right now, and I just went up a mountain, this thing should be ready to climb up if it's going to climb up, and I think that it's not. So next thing is, I might actually have a bad coolant reservoir, which sucks because if you guys remember, I did a video, I was on the road and my coolant reservoir actually was bad, because what would happen again, when I would stop, I was leaking coolant out of the reservoir. And at first I thought the system was building up too much pressure and it was an internal problem, but I quickly figured out that it wasn't, due to checking all of my parameters via the laptop. And I kind of suspected that I might had a bad coolant reservoir, and that is because, I'll show you. And there's two things that could be going on. I'm hoping it's the second one, but in my case, I just replaced this thing less than a year ago, and like I said, I got a video on it. There shouldn't be coolant down here. If you have coolant down here, one or two things. This is bad, and it will cause coolant to leak down, out of the overflow. And I think when I just did the radiator, I might have overfilled it a little bit much, and it's causing me to build up a little bit of pressure. Not enough to get it hot, but a little bit of pressure. So I'm going to let this, see if this will rectify itself, because sometimes this will rectify itself if it lets out enough pressure, enough coolant. It will actually suck all this back up through this line here. There's actually a channel here in the side of the coolant reservoir. So I'm thinking I probably got a little bit much in there, and that's what my problem is. So right now, everything is fine, of course. So I'm gonna let it run the whole time on my 30-minute and see what happens. But I think that's what I got going on, and I kind of figured that. But for the sake of the video, I wanted to check for myself, and I wanted to show you guys ways that you can check that. And our temperature dropped all the way back down to 196. So I'm gonna have to say there's probably nothing there going on. I got 2 fault codes. They're the same fault codes that's been on here since I had the truck. One is for a SAM bus fuse missing 25, but I don't have that. That's not something that we use. And there's another sub bus switch missing. Those are all minor things. Those modular switch and a SAM bus fuse missing. But other than that, that's that. We'll check out some other things. Let's go back to our instrumentation here. Chart, sleeper cab, AC blower is off, and our fan clutch is still off, as you can see. Now I can go and do a operational test on this. If I wanted to manually engage this fan, I could do that. I would just go up in here and find, let's see, activate outputs, oil pressure, stop engine light, check engine light. Hang on, it's kind of hard to do this with the mouse. Where is it at? Okay, here we go. Fan. Duration. Use the slider. That's the one, actually. Fans, yeah, okay, fan 1, that's what we want. There we go. Can you hear the, you hear it, hear it? That's the fan solenoid kicking in. So we're going to go ahead and all right, we're going to stop it. You should hear that stop. And that's that. So our fan is working, which we knew already. And I mean, you can go in here and activate all kinds of stuff like the AC compressor clutch, the Jake brakes, I mean, you can check almost everything, even the water separator, the battery lights, the dash lights, starter lockout, water in the fuel lamp, all your lamps, all your lights. So many things you can do with the input output, sleeper lighting, utility lamps, marker panels, switch, body control, connector. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do when you have the software to check it. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and try and eat something, and then my next video I'll be giving you guys an update about this Oregon deal. All right, it's your boy QDZ Double Easy. I hope this video helps somebody. Happy New Year's once again. How about you out there, drivers?